Hello, my darlings. A very, very happy new year to you. I feel like we've got to charge into this one with as much mental clarity, focus and clear thinking as we can possibly muster, because our world does continue to be a little bit of a strange place. And, if you're neurotypical, it's difficult enough, but if you're neurodiverse, even more so. So I'm going to share with you today just a couple of really simple massage tips to keep that clarity going, to keep you feeling on top of things as much as you can. And if you live or work with anybody who is really touch averse or isn't very keen on touch, if you can try and get them to mirror you, you're a therapist, for example, try and get people to mirror you, because if they're then in charge of the touch, and also on a friends and family basis, if you can get your child to mirror you, it's putting them in charge of that touch. Because for some autistic people, they don't like being touched because A, it's a sensory overload, but B, it can really tickle them or even give them a burning sensation. So for me, when I like to put everybody in charge of all the touch I share anyway, because I totally believe as a therapist, my main aim is to talk myself out of a job and not make people reliant on me. So when you get people to mirror you, it puts them in charge, helps to melt those barriers, but gives them the tools to use whenever they need them, wherever they are, because these ones are actually really, really discreet, so you can use them anywhere. And the first one is just between the pad of your thumb and your forefinger. You just pinch the bridge of your nose. So just pinch, hold it for 3 seconds, gently release. And repeat that 3 times. So squeeze, hold for 3, release. Squeeze, hold for 3, release. And you've probably seen people do this at school, at work, even at home. I do it a lot in front of my fridge, thinking, oh my God, what was it I was meant to be getting out again? And it's your concentration point, and people do it instinctively. So it's a really discreet one. If you're a child in a classroom, if you're at a really boring work meeting, I mean, we've all had to go to those, haven't we? Just sit there and just pinch your nose. And it's very, very discreet, and it just fires up that concentration. It's a really good one as well if you're dyslexic, for example, and it's difficult to retain short-term information sometimes, or ADHD, the same, autism, and even if you're neurotypical, this helps you as well. So it's really wonderful. And the other one you can do is if you put your fingers up through your hair. First of all, that pushes all the blood and oxygen to the brain. And you can do it just with your elbows on a desk. I do it often. I just push my fingers up through my hair, and then with my thumbs, I'll just rotate my temples, just with the pads of my thumbs. So I'm not pressing my thumbs, the points of my thumbs deep into my temples, because that wouldn't be a good idea at all. I'm just gently massaging in circles, gentle but firm rotations, just backwards and forwards. And if you feel that that's a little bit obvious, just put your arms on the desk, and you can still maintain eye contact with somebody, but just push the pads of your fingers up into your temples and do it that way. And it just looks like you're just easing a bit of tension. It's quiet, it's discreet, you're not disturbing anybody. But this, because the temples, as I've said before in other videos, the temples in massage is the capital city of our happy hormones and coping chemicals, those neurotransmitters that relax but charge the brain. So massage doesn't just make you sleepy, it can actually ease those issues and challenges, help you let go of that tension and relax, but it will also fire your brain with that serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins that help you feel you can cope and function and get through. So it's a really fantastic one. The other one you can do, and this again you can do really discreetly, it's only the pads of your forefingers. You push them into your ears. I mean, it might make you go deaf for a little bit, but then again, if you're in a really boring meeting, you're not going to miss much, are you? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm so naughty. So you just push the pads of your fingers. If I start shouting, it's because I can't hear. gently into your ears, hold it for 3, release. I'm actually pressing, rather than poking my fingers right in my ears, I'm actually poking that, pushing that little bit called the tragus. If you think of Trago Mills, it helps you remember it. That little bit in front of your ear hole, that little bit there, and you just push it in gently. Hold for 3, release. I'm just doing it with my pads. I'm not pushing in like that. So I'm just pressing with the pads of my fingers. Hold for 3, gently release. And this gives you a huge surge of creativity, concentration, focus, and it also helps to clear your mind, particularly if it's a Monday morning meeting, or, if you're a parent of a neurodiverse child or you're neurodiverse yourself, sometimes it's just a really good way to sharpen your focus and get it honed in on what you're meant to be concentrating on. So I hope that helps. I wish you all the happiest and healthiest and most peaceful of New Year's. And I'll be here weekly to share my tips. If you want to know more about this, please click on to Anna Kennedy Online. It's the international autism charity where I'm the wellbeing ambassador. And every single Monday I write an article for Anna's website. So if you want to know more detail about what I've shared with you, or you want diagrams to freely download, go on to annakennedyonline.com and click onto latest news and I'll be on there. And there's all my articles if you ever need to read any of those, for all sorts of therapies to help all sorts of people, because it's courses for horses and we all like different things, and on different days we're in the mood for different things, aren't we? So I share loads of tips. I've also got my big public Facebook group, Online Rainbow Therapies for Kids and Families, and I've also got my Therapies for Special Needs one as well. So there's lots of free resources for you out there. So take care, everybody. It's lovely to see you again, and I will see you next week. Lots and lots of love from me to you, okay? Bye-bye, darlings.